America. Let's talk about selective outrage. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated at a college event in Utah on September 10th, the right didn't just demand justice, which every decent person supports. They demanded obedience. Overnight, you were told to mourn in one acceptable way, or else. Lose your job, your platform, your future. What happened to free speech even if you don't agree with it? And yes, a suspect is now in custody. But the right-wing political machine kicked into gear faster than a Republican posing with a firearm. The same politicians and influencers who preach free speech on campus reinvented themselves as speech cops the minute the commentary cut against their story. Conservatives are quick to blame rappers for their words when they get tragically killed, but refuse to use the same logic when it comes to their messaging. Let's be crystal clear. Political violence is wrong. Full stop. But here's the part they don't want you to remember. When a right-wing figure is targeted, the outrage is biblical. The punishments for the left, the prescriptions, are force. More police, more surveillance, more enemies lists, and a new round of laws to protect conservative speech and crush anyone who dares speak out against MAGA. Yet when the violence is a school shooting, when kids are bleeding on a cafeteria floor, or when the victim is the husband of a Democratic speaker who was smashed in the skull with a hammer, those same loud voices shrug off reform and crack jokes. Donald Trump Jr. pushed memes about Paul Pelosi's assault. Donald Trump himself mocked it on stage.
How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know? And she's against building a wall at our border, even though she has a wall around her house, which obviously didn't do a very good job.
They laughed. And now Trump demands you mourn and feel empathy. I thought empathy was for the weak, or is it just for right-winger influencers? That's not principle or Christian. That's power. That's manipulation. That's selective outrage. And if you still think Trump and MAGA have standards, explain this. Months before Kirk's killing, former Minnesota House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband were murdered in their home. A suspect was charged. Did President Trump call Governor Tim Walz to offer unity? He publicly said he wouldn't. He called Walz whacked out.
Details that came out today about the suspect who's been charged there. Have you called the governor yet or been able to speak to any of them?
I don't really call him. Look, he appointed this guy to a position. I think the governor of Minnesota is so whacked out. I'm not calling him. Why would I call him? I could call him and say, hi, how you doing? The guy doesn't have a clue. He's a mess. So, I could be nice and call him, but why waste time?
So spare the American people the lectures about civility. When comfort and solidarity were the job, Trump chose division and spite. Now, in the wake of a conservative figure's murder, he rushes to Fox News to announce an arrest and call for the death penalty. Does Trump not feel this passionate and angered when little kids get senselessly taken from their parents because of gun violence? Why is he not running to the cameras to address the nation about that? The through line isn't values or empathy, it's vengeance and selective outrage to gain more power. I want you to understand the ideology that toured America in a TPUSA windbreaker. On race, Kirk didn't just dog whistle. He screamed that shit out loud. On his show, he claimed prowling blacks target white people for fun, wondered aloud if a black pilot was qualified, and framed high-profile black women as affirmative action beneficiaries rather than earned success. This is a pattern designed to rile crowds and juice clips. Just because you believe in God and call yourself a Christian does not automatically make you a good person. He pushed a hardline culture war package, Nuremberg-style trials for doctors who provide gender-affirming care, Christian nationalist talking points about church-state separation being made up, and the Great Replacement as strategy, not a theory. That's the content pipeline he fed to students in TikTok feeds: fear, enemies, and a promise that domination is virtue and empathy is for the weak. Don't get mad at me for repeating what Kirk said, because it's all on tape. On guns, he called the annual toll of shootings a prudent deal to keep maximal Second Amendment rights, then tried to recast himself as the guardian of free speech if a conservative was harmed. Same tour, same mic, same message. And the politics didn't stop at the campus gates. His operation hyped and bussed supporters to D.C. ahead of January 6, then scrubbed the tweet. He even entertained bailing out Paul Pelosi's attacker. Meanwhile, the larger TPUSA ecosystem was linked to a paid troll farm of teen accounts boosting pro-Trump narratives. This is what grassroots looked like behind the curtain. And still, nothing real changes on guns. After every school shooting, after every innocent young life extinguished, Republican leadership runs the same play. Blame mental health. talk up armed teachers, then block or water down policy. Republicans think more guns will make us safer, but America is flooded with guns, and it doesn't feel very safe to many Americans. Meanwhile, most Americans, even many gun owners, support stronger laws. States like Rhode Island inch forward, Congress stalls. GOP leaders celebrate defending the Second Amendment and move on. But the truth is far more brutal. Whether it's a campus assassination or a classroom massacre, easy access to high-capacity weapons turns grievances into death sentences. If the right can change their beliefs on free speech in 48 hours, then they can advocate for gun safety in a session. If they won't, it's because some Republicans in power prefer the culture war weapon of gun violence over actual weapons reform, even at the cost of one of their own. So here's the bottom line. I condemn the killing of Charlie Kirk without letting professional outrage merchants use it to muzzle speech, criminalize dissent, or bulldoze you into their permanent state of exception. Demand the same empathy, the same urgency, the same never-again energy for a ninth grader's funeral as for a conservative celebrity's vigil. And when Trump and MAGA laughed at Paul Pelosi's attack to suddenly cry about tone, ask them why their empathy only shows up when it serves their agenda. This country doesn't need Trump, who hasn't prayed a day in his life, to tell us how or what to pray about, or even to pray at all. America needs consistent rules, equal dignity, and leaders who fix the laws that keep getting people killed. Until then, the hypocrisy isn't a glitch. It's the MAGA business model, and I refuse to buy it.